Hi, I'm Georgina from Therapy Pro, and today I'm with Anna Steward. Anna, can you tell me about your role at Therapy Pro?
Sure. I'm an occupational therapist and I work with people across the lifespan.
And can you tell me what an occupational therapist or an OT does?
Absolutely. So occupational therapists work with people who have acquired an injury or have a disability to support them to live a fulfilling life and to provide strategies and recommendations to overcome challenges. We are asked to complete functional capacity assessments for NDIS participants regularly.
And what does that mean? Like, what is a functional capacity assessment?
A functional capacity assessment does vary for every participant and client. It's very much tailored to a snapshot of how that person participates in everyday life.
In a functional capacity assessment, we'll work with you to understand how you participate in a range of activities, both at home and in the community. For example, your personal care, so how you might manage with having a shower and getting dressed in the morning. We'll also look at how you move around, your functional mobility, whether or not you require a mobility aid. And we'll also talk to you about your productivity, household management, and the things you do for leisure, as well as your community access, so how you get out and about and whether or not you need help to do that. Therapy Pro will also consider whether or not you require any assistive technology.
Are you able to talk us through what's actually involved in a functional capacity assessment?
Sure. So a functional capacity assessment is a comprehensive assessment that will often take a minimum of 2 sittings for clients. One aspect of the assessment is an interview with the client or the client's carer or family member. The second aspect is an environmental assessment and looking at how the participant interacts with their environment and any challenges they might have. And the third aspect is the recommendations for support that actually inform funding.
And why would an NDIS participant need this sort of assessment? How does it help?
Great question. So participants come to us to complete functional capacity assessment for a range of reasons. Sometimes it's because the participant is preparing for a plan review and then needing some up-to-date evidence of their needs. Sometimes they are referred for a functional capacity assessment by a stakeholder or support coordinator who feels that they need some more information about a client's needs. Usually it's for information provision. So following a functional capacity assessment, Therapy Pro provides comprehensive report that families can use in preparation for their planning review meetings, and often those reports are reviewed directly by the planners.
Are you able to explain maybe the process or the steps that you might take to do an assessment over telehealth?
Yeah, great question, particularly lately.
Yes.
Demand for assessments during this time of COVID-19. So the key main aspects of the functional capacity assessment don't differ, whether that's done face-to-face in a client's home or whether that is done over telehealth. Just poses some different challenges, but mostly there's always an interview component with a client or with a client's carer, and that can be done appropriately over telehealth. Even for those clients who maybe have a communication challenge or they rely on support, we do conduct functional capacity assessments with family members and carers. And one aspect over telehealth that might differ for an occupational therapist who visits a client at home versus telehealth is the environmental assessment. And that component does look quite different over telehealth, but it's still critical in the assessment and it's always considered. Sometimes creative means having to walk around the home with the video on, or have the care client take some photos of some environmental steps, for example, or a kitchen layout.
Yeah.
But because we're not there standing in the kitchen or on the steps. Sometimes we do have to do that creatively, but it's still possible.
Anna, are you able to give us an example of an assessment?
A young person who might be 17 has come to the organisation for a functional capacity assessment, and they are about to transition from school into employment or tertiary studies. So it's a major transition in their life, and their funding needs are likely to change. So they've come in for a functional capacity assessment, which looks at home, community and educational needs. A report is provided and given to the NDIS to consider the funding needs for the next stage of their life. Participants come to us for a functional capacity assessment to review their current goals and plan for future goals, and some participants come to us towards the end of their plan to prepare for their planning meeting.